Hey, it's Shoshana. How are you? Welcome to my channel, Momma Shoshana, and I am Momma Shoshana, also known as Shoshana Mizell. If you're here for the first time, I am so grateful that you're here. I'm so happy that you're here. Welcome to the Momma Shoshana Community. And if you're returning again, I am just thrilled that you're here. If you came back, that means to me that you're really getting some value out of this. And that's just my number one thing, is that I'm giving you value, and that's what it's all about. So today we're going to talk about, it's kind of like okay, wait. So today what we're going to talk about is a little bit of an extension of last time when we talked about emotional balance. And I'm wondering, how you felt about that. If you tried some of the exercises we're talking about, please you're more than welcome to leave it in the comments. The emotional balance we were referring to last time was more about, my relationship with me. When I'm experiencing an emotion, let's say like fear or whatever, I'm just doing a little recap of last week. So when I'm experiencing fear, example of fear is pretty powerful. How do I feel about experiencing that emotion? And then I can sit, say, you know what, it makes me nervous. There are things that I can do about it, which is to take a deep breath in, exhale, make a nice cup of tea, do some yoga. But what happens when we're trying to find emotional balance with the world? We're talking about family, we're talking about friends, other employees, employers, strangers, people on the street. How about when we're driving? Does that drive you crazy a little bit? And again, excuse me, I'm always looking at my notes because I love you. And so I take time with my team to really, write things down, and we really discuss it. So I just don't want to miss anything. So balance emotions when it comes to other people. Now, let's say you have a friend, could be your best friend for years, or somebody you're just beginning to develop a relationship. So you're not sure where they stand, you're not sure where you stand, and as far as, how much trust has been established yet in your relationship with this person. You may be having all kinds of thoughts about that and questions. And can you relate to this, that you've already created a script that has never even happened? Sometimes I even to this day catch myself having conversations with people who are not in the room, which is fine. I think that to some extent that's our subconscious, semi-conscious, and conscious way of kind of working things out and practicing how we would like to talk to somebody. And that is totally cool as far as what I've experienced. But what happens when, for example, I'll use myself as an example. If I assume somebody is going to feel a certain way about something that I want to express, okay, so two things are happening here. One, I'm not expressing myself. Two, I am projecting onto the other on that other person what I think they're going to think about me. So, I know I don't want to get too complicated here, but again, so I want to express myself to somebody. I don't really know them that well, or maybe I know them very well, but I know that particular subject they're sensitive to. But to be able to have our relationship grow, to be honest, to communicate, to respect each other's feelings, I really want to express myself based on what they've told me on how they feel about whatever subject it is that I want to talk to them about. I'm afraid. Okay. Now, putting that to the side for 1 second. Okay. Let's keep expression, assumptions, and emotional balance like right here, close. Okay. Then let's just go over to the side a little bit. So, a couple of things that can happen as, are symptomatic of having assumptions is self-doubt, okay? The feeling that, whatever you want to talk about does not have value. What does that mean? Does that mean that I think I have no value, or what I have to give is not going to have value to the other person? Then that leads us to overthinking. So I'm thinking, what's going to happen when I say this? I'm assuming an entire scenario of what's going to happen, which is not based on reality. It may be based on what I've observed or how I've perceived things from the past, but not really based on the moment. And then thinking I don't have value, that what I'm feeling is now valuable. One thing about that, and now let me just stop for a second. So we still have our emotional balance right here. We still have how important it is to express ourselves. And then the fear of not expressing ourselves because we have assumptions. Then the thought of self-doubt and not thinking we have enough value, that starts the overthinking. Okay. Now, what I talked about before was having these narratives and these conversations in our head, this negative self-talk between our ears. It's funny, and I only speak for myself, but sometimes feeling negative about myself can almost feel like a soothing thing, because then I don't have to have any expectations of myself. I don't have to have the courage to just open my mouth and say what I feel, and of course always in a kind, respectful way. There's a sense of tremendous self-involvement and self-centered, but not in the way that we call people self-centered, not selfish, but just very self-involved on my negativity. And that can be just as damaging as being self-involved on me thinking, how great I am, and that I don't need to really do anything to earn trust or to communicate. So it's kind of the same concept, but different sides of the coin. So one, being self-involved with negative self-talk, and the other side of the coin with being self-involved in a tremendous amount of self-importance without really, thinking about how it affects other people. So, I think that part of this, not wanting to express yourselves, having an assumption, is part of having over expectations of other people. The fear that you're going to be judged is maybe sometimes the fear of you judging yourself. So as hard as it is, this mantra of, this is something you can take and use in reality, in the moment, right now, is, you can even write this down if you want to, or go back to the video, is, what is it that I want to say? What is it that I want to express? And consciously put your assumptions to the side, okay? and realize that some of your assumptions may be because you're having expectations of how you feel someone is going to respond to you, but more, you have expectations of how you want them to respond to you. If they say this and this, then I'll be okay. But if they say something that's contrary to what makes me comfortable, then I will not be okay. So that there is where we get to really, learn to be comfortable with being extremely uncomfortable. Okay. That feeling that you don't really feel comfortable in your skin, just you feel like you just don't have that, chill feeling. And that is completely okay. To me, that is the road to getting healthier, to be able to love yourself enough to see what your shortcomings might be, what your flaws might be. And so what can some of those things lead to? For me and close friends and family member, the things that I've observed, things that I've read about, is unexpressed feelings, has led me to feeling anxious, to feeling anxiety, over expectations when I know I have to take action and I, for some reason I must express myself to this person. I've gotten like bouts of panic attacks of this pressure that I fear the worst. Another way that I have dealt with it, and many people I know, is to abuse substances that are feel good, things that tap into the feel good response in our bodies or hormones. And that could be anything from overspending money, that feeling that you get when you buy yourself things, the overeating, eating to an extent that is just not healthy for you. Could be abusing alcohol, abusing drugs. You could abuse relationships, sex. There's so many things. So, and you may be, and many people may be in that place right now, but that is not where you have to stay. And of course, many people do get outside help for these issues, but these are things that you can do right now. You don't have to wait to see a therapist. You don't have to wait for anything. You can do this right now. So what I would love for next time is for you to start thinking about, make a list even of the things that you feel very strongly about, what you want to express to a particularly important person in your life. And then write down what your assumptions are, and then from there, you can write down how you think they're going to respond to you. And what is the very worst thing? That's the thing, is to know that you're much stronger than you think you are. And if you go down to like, what's the worst thing can happen if they say no? Well, then I won't get that. Okay, well, what if you don't get it? What's going to happen? Well, I'll be unhappy. Okay, so if you're unhappy, what's the worst thing that can happen to you? I might start to overeat. Okay, and you stop right there. Then you can start with the solutions that we talked about in previous videos. Get a diary, or, just start writing your feelings down. Start taking a hot bath with candles. Watch a movie that you know is going to make you cry. If you can't cry, then just cry it out. Stretch, exercise, draw. Even if you're not good at drawing, just take a bunch of crayons and just start drawing. Go outside and change your physical surroundings. Go outside and take a walk. Look at the flowers. look at the trees, whatever is around you. Go hug your dog. Go and, I don't know, volunteer somewhere to help people in need. Sometimes a great solution is not to overthink it, but to get outside yourself. It's something that can help give you perspective, can give you gratitude, and I am always here for you. So with that was a mouthful. And if you're still here and you feel that this has been valuable to you, that just makes me so happy. So if you would be so kind as to help this channel so it can thrive and reach more and more people, if you can subscribe and like it and leave a comment, and of course you can ask any questions, and my heart is open to you. I am here for you. I am at your disposal. And if you'd like to share this with someone else you think it can help, that would be great. So we're signing off. Momma Shoshana, myself, I love you. I am so grateful you're here. You're important, you're loved, you're valuable, and we will create this beautiful community together. Big kiss. Mwah. Bye.